bro. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
For sure, for sure. Hey, this too, like this is the other side of your world or whatever. But what where does this whole the whole country that ain't from the city, all they think about when they think of Chicago is the BD versus GD war. And, you know, being my time in Chicago, bro, like, I've seen certain blocks. I'm able to look at it and be like, blocks versus blocks, right? There's no GD versus BD war, period, or is there now? And, when did that start? Because I used to know a lot of the blocks that I knew that had one had the other.
Yeah, like the black gangs, man. There's not really no structure. Like I was just in Springfield, locked up in a county jail, and all these dudes are GDs, and they got two cliques. One's called the BPs, which is boss players, and the other one's called the squad, and they're all GDs, and they all kill each other. Some of them are cousins.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
so I don't know, like you would never see a King and a SD hanging out together talking about we getting money. You know what I'm saying? It's just black gangs do shit different. But
Yeah.
one thing I do want to talk about, and it's probably bogus for me to talk about, but it needs to be put out there, is I won't say the name of it, but I don't like a certain gang that we're supposed to be first cousins with because they got these made up laws saying that it's okay for them to fuck a man if they got more than 26 years to do or some goof fad. To me, that's a fag shit. And I'm supposed to put my life on the line and ride with these motherfuckers. They might be looking at my ass.
Hey, I know what you're speaking on. I mean, it's crazy because I have spoke to that mob and they've told me that that is not in their book. And then
It
I've
is.
heard, you know what I'm saying? I've heard like, if you've personally in the joint heard that that's true, that that's the law there, I take your word for it. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
But
no, 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 no. Listen, this is why I don't like them. I seen personally myself in Stateville Correctional Center one of their board members. His name was Big Low. Big Low was big as fuck, and Big Low used to greet the GDs. Okay, he had a big ass 6 point star on his neck. I was in Stateville with him, and them shorties, he would get them TVs and shit. If they ain't know their literature, he was raping them, his own guys.
god damn, okay.
Yeah, I mean shit's real. They booty bandit.
That's crazy. So,
We're the Latin gangs. I don't give a fuck if you're 96, got 96 years to do. You better beat your dick.
oh, you stupid. Um,
Yeah, real sir.
so the whole structure, all of that, like, one love, Latin folks, all of that. That is not part of the joint the way that it used to be, or is it still part of
Okay,
certain joints?
no, no, no. Listen, I'm gonna tell you now. Everything has changed now. There is no more GD and Finball. What's going on now is it's getting more like Cali. They have a gangs behind the walls now. The Latin folks, the Latin kings, they all ride together. It's called the Latin Alliance.
Wow, that's crazy.
So the blacks stick with the blacks, the Latinos with this, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the Latin gangs, they hate black people anyway, so they ain't riding with them.
So there's more racism than like, because I've always put it down that like there is racism in Chicago, but it's different. Um, I mean, for instance, like L.A. doesn't have a lot of white boys that are from gangs. You might have like a white boy that grows up in a Latino hood, and he might turn out, a Sereno or whatever from whatever hood that is. But Chicago's full of them. Like I've met, it's the only I think the only mobs that I haven't met a white boy from might be like the Breeds. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
I beg to differ. Listen, I was in Menard with this goofy ass white dude that was a BD. He called himself Bleach. Hey, the man had nerve to put 100% nigga on his stomach.
wow, and he embraced by the BDs?
Yeah, he had a slot for him.
Wow, that's crazy.
See, a lot of people don't know neither. They're like, they have other gangs that ride with the BDs. The BDs got a gang that comes out of St. Louis called the Metros. So that's where a lot of them white dudes come from. So the Metros, when they get locked up, they ride under BD concept. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying? So you
that's crazy.
like a white boy that's a Metro, but in the joint he's a BD.
Damn. Okay, so like this brother Bleach, he wasn't from the city,
I don't know where he was from, man. I didn't talk to him.
but he was a BD though.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I
okay.
mean,
Yeah, I could give you I could give you something on that though. Okay, so listen, I'm in Sheridan Correctional Center. Okay, one of the SDs from AT to Cal come down there. Okay, now look, I could talk about him because he ain't from the hood no more. But he's a black SD, and his name was Q. Okay, so I'm in the gym with Q, and there's a vice lord. Q's over there on the new. There's a vice lord that's with him. The vice lord say supposedly he's a 3-star elite for the vice lords. Okay, so he asked Q, "What you is Q a GD?" Q say, "Hell no, I'm a SD." Right? He tell Q, "What you doing black in a Latino gang?" Right? So Q get offensive. He tell him, "Let's go in this corner. I'll show you what I'm doing black in a Latino gang." Right? So I break it up. You know what I'm saying? And Jim's getting ready to get over. Q say, "Man, I'll go holler at dude." I say, "You hear me?"
Yeah.
I say, "Q, man, leave that shit alone." Q said, "No, I gotta go holler." So Q go over there. He gave him something to think about. Q said, "Hey, bro, listen. You came down here on the bus with me, right?" And dude said, "Yeah." Q said, "Okay, you a 3-star elite for the Vice Lords, right?" He said, "Yeah." Q said, "But at the end of the day, you asking to use my deodorant, my toothpaste." He said, "That's what I'm doing in a Latino." He said, "What you doing black in a black gang?"
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hey, but that's what's kind of crazy to me is I mean the race thing too is crazy because it's like a lot of black maniacs. It's a lot of black Spanish cobras. Um, it's black everything. It's white everything. It's Latino everything. And at this point, it's like you still hear about races getting tripped on in the joint and shit. It's like it's kind of crazy to think considering like the SDs. Like when you really look at it, that original branch of 18th and Cal, that was a lot of white boys from over there originally.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
met
saying?
brothers. Lucky, Lucky's an old school white boy from Cal. They got another brother that's named Merlin. He's from AT to Cal. He's old school. But I do want to talk about is like this racism thing been going on for a long time. Like back in the days, the Gaylords. Let's talk about the almighty Gaylords. They was like a white power gang. Their shit used to stand for Great American Youth Loving Our Race, Demolishing Spicks.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
so when they went to the joint, the Kings was like, "Fuck you mean? Fuck y'all." Demolishing Spicks. So they changed it from Spicks to Spooks, just like the almighty Popes. Pope stands for Protect Our People, Eliminate Spicks. So when they got to the joint, the Kings made them change that. It's Protect Our People, Eliminate Spooks.
Right, and I think the racism too. I was talking to an old school King brother, a righteous brother, bro, and he was telling me, like them Southside popes, they split apart because half of them wasn't racist. A lot of those popes, like the whole Almighty and Insane Pope, the split came because a lot of those popes was kicking it with kings. They wasn't on that race tip, But that original generation that you talking about, there's a lot of those white gangs, bro. The Gaylords, the Royals, the Jousters, Chai West. The C Notes. These was white gangs.
Yeah. What I wanted to tell you on that is this is my view. You could take it or you could leave it. This is the way I look at it. Okay. A lot of these gang wars that's going on, even with the GDs, the BDs, all of that, has to do with the politics. Like you said, like listen, I'm gonna give you my version of it. So for years, man, the dailies had the city of Chicago, Mayor Daley, Richard Daley, the dailies, and everything was fine. So everybody knew. You go to Capri Green. This is the GD building. This is the Mickey Cobra building. This is the Vice Lord building. So this goofy motherfucker Robert Emmanuel or whatever gets in there as the mayor. Okay, so he has this bright idea that why should these white people have to work and live in the suburbs that work downtown and have to drive an hour and a half to work? Let's rip all the projects down and let's move the white people downtown. Okay. So they rip the projects down, they build condos. Well, guess what? Now, if we're out here on 88th and Archer and we're selling PCP, you got vice lords come over here trying to sell crack. Now you got a goddamn gang war. They should have
Right.
left it was at, and so it comes down to the mayor and them causing this shit.
I mean, they tore down the projects and they spread these mobs everywhere. Right.
Bro, like you started seeing black people in the trailer park. That was our ghetto.
Yeah. I mean, you started to see like a lot of these. It used to be what a lot of Latino GDs from like 53rd and Wood, 49th and Paulina. They're still there. Um, these is brothers that the black influences it spreads, right? Like, and these kind of there's a lot of different. If you're from Chicago, you know where kind of like the racial lines are, where once you pass this certain boulevard or this 63rd or whatever street you enter in, it goes from like Latino to black, right? But you do have that black influence. You like I said, the GDs from 49th and Paulina. I don't all the ones that I've ever seen was Mexican, right? So, um, that's a crazy trip too, because a lot of the black gangs too, like a lot of the big focus of the page of the IG account. Part of this is I be posting photos of Latino gang tags. When I post the black tags, usually it looks like a little kid drew it, right?
Yeah.
So, um, what's interesting about that, every time I do it, people go, well, why is it that you don't post more black tags? I'll post old school pictures, throwbacks of GDs, Vice Lords, etc. But like tagging in the black gang, like it's not really part of the culture the way that it is for Latinos. And but you go to like 49th and Paulina, and they got GD done up in Old English with forks and crowns going down and on and on and on. So it's crazy sometimes. Like anytime I post like a really clean GD tag, they'll go, "That dude had to be Latino."
Yeah, I do want to talk about the racism. Like, when I was a shorty, man, the SDs from Canaryville, they was very racist branch. Like, there was Mickey Cobras on 45th, and they knew not to come past that viaduct
Right,
down there.
right, right.
Look, the SDs from Canaryville were called Canaryville because of their skin. Like, I knew a brother named Spy I was in the joint with, and Spy, he's talking about how he hated black people. And one of the folks, like, I bet you a carton of cigarettes, you won't put a swastika on you. Spy came out after count with a swastika right between his eyes.
God damn.
He's like, I'm from Canaryville,
Yeah, that's crazy. So, um, do you?
Bridgeport.
Yeah, do you remember? Do you remember when they had the SD branch on 48th and Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, was that considered Canaryville as well in terms of like that branch, or was did that predate it? Was it before they opened 48th and Union? Was it its own thing?
Yeah. 48th and Elizabeth turned to 48th and Union.
Okay, for sure, for sure. That's what I thought. Cause I've met old school Ambrose, bro. Like there's a old school Ambro named Sammy. He's from 18th and Troop. He told me they used to have a branch on 45th and Union. So way back in the day. So I do know that Canaryville's got a history outside of just what we know, which is the deuces and the D's, right? But the last thing I wanted to ask you about, just to pull it back into the focus of like the Instagram account that I've been running now for years,
Yeah.
is back in the day, murals and taggings. Would you go to hoods? The whole hoods, like the alleyways, the garages, was almost everything covered.
Oh yeah. Listen, you used to know on H the Cal when I was out the joint because you would see me with that silver spray paint tag all over.
Yeah, and so that was like, I've heard stories too. Like, I remember like certain areas, and I'm a little younger, but certain places where you would just go and like literally everything that could be tagged was tagged.
Oh
Murals,
man.
multicolored
Oh,
murals, big letters.
every stop sign on 18 DeKalb, on the top of the stop sign it said can't, and on the bottom said SDz, can't stop SDz on every stop sign.
Right, for sure, for sure. So, hey,
When I was 40, we used to bang off a certain clothes. Like we used to wear the Los Angeles Raiders, and we said that it stood for ruthless and insane disciples everywhere running shit. We used to wear the Duke, which because it had the baby devil, and we
right,
said it stood for disciples uncontrollable, killing everyone. So we banged off all type of shit. Like I remember as a shorty, we used to wear them Chuck Taylors and flap them down because it cracked the five. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
jumped at the fucking beach by some 12th Street players for having my flaps down. Dude told me, what's up with them flaps? I said, what you want to be up? I didn't know there was 40 more of these motherfuckers around the corner.
Yeah, the beach. I mean, motherfuckers be getting caught at the beach still to this day. 31st Street Beach. Like, you might be going there just to catch some waves, and next thing you get run up on by like 20 dudes from a hood you never even been to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, so yeah, the murals and the taggings and things of that nature. You know, that's the culture, the art. That shit is really interesting. Like I think that's why a lot of motherfuckers have come to my page and started to follow it was for the art. And it's not like any other place in the country. Like gang taggings in LA is nothing like the ones in Chicago.
Absolutely. Hey, and another thing with graffiti is like I remember when I was a shorty, we used to Boo Boo from Cal. He used to take me over there by the King's Hood and have me go over there and hurry up right SD's hood and shit. So it was like that's a way to. It's like a dog pissing on something to leave they scent. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
nothing used to piss me off more than when the motherfucking deuces would come over there and tag on Cal in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning. They hurry up and hit the wall. I'm like, man, we got these dudes on curfew. They don't even come out past 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? But they'll hurry up and sneak over there. Hey,
Hey, what?
yeah, I can remember. I can remember when the deuces started catching the flux by the Kings. Okay, there was a deuce named Mousy from Cullerton. He approaches me right in the county, and he tells me, he's like, "Hey, bro, you from AT Cal?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "Hey, man, us deuces are looking to call peace with y'all as these on Cal, right?" And as he's telling me this, I'm looking at this bitch ass motherfucker got a big ass fork going down on his arm. I told him, why don't you start by covering that motherfucking fork up on your arm?
Yeah, I mean it was that real, right? Um, I mean there was the deuces there is basically gone. You
Oh, they
know,
are.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like that's an area we talk
The
about.
Kings have.
Yeah, I mean like they got pushed out. You go into that side, bro. It's just a lot of white people, a lot of gentrification,
Well,
hipsters.
well, the Kings have opened another hood over there now, not around 21st and Fairfield too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another branch. Um,
Yep.
and I know from history that branch was started by the boulevards, um, which is crazy too because the boulevards probably got more branches in the burbs than any other branch of kings in the city. Like them brothers have spread everywhere.
Yeah.
So last thing I want to ask you, um, a lot of listeners that have been to your hood,
Yeah.
they they're familiar, with the film studio, Chicago Fire, Lagunitas Brewery. Um, what was it like before they built that? Was that all buildings and houses,
No, back there was factories.
factories? So when Lagunitas got built up, you know, did you see a real change to the neighborhood, like police presence?
Oh man, we can't even bust out.
Yes, it's over.
See, here's another thing too I've experienced with the racist stuff. Like I could talk about my hood itself, okay? So in my hood, we had a chief and he was black. Okay,
Right.
so a lot of the guys felt like, man, this is a Latino gang. We ain't no GDs, we ain't no BDs. We shouldn't have no black chief. So they got on some racist shit and they branched off and started their own shit on 15th and Fairfield. I mean 15th and Tallman.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
And all
it,
the Latinos would hang out there and the blacks would hang up on Cal.
and that's crazy too, cause like, dude that you speaking on, that's like a historic name, a righteous brother. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him.
Never.
Never. You feel me? So, um, yeah. I mean, it sounds like your view of race and things of that nature. Like, it seems like you embraced and showed love to everybody that deserved it and everybody that didn't. You said fuck them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hey, bro. So,
Another thing I want to talk about with you is this is a big thing. Okay, so I was in the joint in Stateville. Okay, well back in the days, David Ayala used to have it for the Gangster 2-6.
right, for
Okay,
sure.
and what went bad with that was the Latin folks put a hit out on the warden. Okay, they finna hit the warden up. Well, David Ayala wore a wire on the Latin folks on the yard for IA and told on all the Latin folks. So David Ayala is no longer the chief of the 2-6. They don't even honor him no more. They got another big homie,
Right.
and I ain't gonna say his name.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's his David's story is kind of nuts because like he's a name, but dude been locked up since he was a kid.
Yep.
Like a lot of these, you hear these stories about certain brothers, and you don't realize like the name that they're making for themselves and the stories people are talking about. They're 16, 17 years old. They might be
Yep.
14, 15 years old. You know, um, you know, that's crazy. And two, like, um, it's funny. You got Mount Sinai Hospital right there, which is one of the like best triage gunshot hospitals in the
Uh,
city.
but
So
also got over there by my neighborhood, we gang bang so bad. The ambulance might ask you your folks, your people. If you're folks, you're going to Mount Sinai. If you're people, you go to St. Anthony's.
right, right, right. St.
Hey,
Anthony's is
look,
right down the
I'm
way
no.
too.
See, they don't know. We have two people that work at Mount Sinai, the security guards. So they'll tip us off, tell them, hey, them kings up here, we running into that bitch. We tearing the emergency room up.
That's how it was. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, look, there was one time we tried to yank a king's IVs out and shit. We tried to finish them off. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, this shit ain't even funny though, bro. It's
I mean, like,
sad.
hey,
You know.
done.
I mean, hey, bro, but this is what I want to ask is okay. So you spend so many years in the joint, and now like you have to be side by side with kings and counts and brothers that you would consider enemies. Um, did that change your heart? Did it change like the way you view the world any different, or is it still has it been hard for you to like kind of find peace with that shit?
Uh, bro, at first, well, I'm sorry, I'm eating. At first, I was not with it, bro. I looked at it like this. You got brothers turning over in the grave, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, my brothers have put their life on the line. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, bro, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to do it because you're outnumbered. There's so many black people incarcerated.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think about it too. Like, as you talked about losing your daughter, it got to be hard to, you know, rock with a certain mob if you know that they're responsible for killing one of your seed.
Well, look, this is what I used to do. If I come in the county, I ride with the land folks, and if an animal came on deck, I just take myself off count. I tell the land folks, like, look, something happens, I'm ride with y'all, but I ain't fucking with dudes.
Right, for
But
sure, for sure.
but
Yeah,
but here's the thing: as you get older, man, you learn to forgive, and you look at shit different. Like, I wasted my whole life, man, being an SD for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no retirement with this. There's no 401k plan. I when I retired, I didn't get a Cadillac. I'm still waiting on that pension check.
yeah, for
You know, like,
real.
I put so much into this mob, bro. You know what I'm saying? For what?
Yeah, I
It
mean, you
makes you
you
shed a
got
tear, bro.
you got kids. You got. I mean, you sacrifice. How many years you doing the joint altogether?
I'm 42 years old. I've done 28 years in the joint.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got children that don't know their dad is a dad, right?
Yep.
You got a baby mama who you told me is resting. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Um, and I won't put that in there if you don't want it to be in there. Um,
Yeah, my baby mama, KK, Lady Kaboom, she was a Lady SD too, and she was down for the cause, man. But my baby mom, you know, she died, man, and now I have to be there for my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, because them SDs at the end of the day, they ain't gonna raise my kid. You got to stand on your own 2 feet, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so what would you tell like, you know, any kid these days? I mean, honestly, like I mean, I'm obviously you're not active. You ain't on the block like that. Um, if a kid wanted to follow in your footsteps, what would you say to him?
I would tell him, man, just like I tell my kid tonight, this ain't no life, man. Just stay in school, pay attention. Even when you think that it's dumb, because you never know when you'll need it for life. When you get locked up and you're in them cells, you realize who's really there for you, man. It's the people that you wouldn't even take 10 minutes to go spend time with because you was busy kicking it with your homies. I'm talking about like your mom, your girl. You know what I'm saying? Them are the people that's going to be there for you. It's not going to be your folks. You know what they're going to do? They're going to be right there in your girl's ear talking about, man, this nigga was over here trying to fuck this because they're trying to get in her pants. These niggas are the ones he was just on the block with, ready to take a bullet for.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like they don't really care about you, man. A real friend is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Look it, bro. This is what I realized. Like I used to all the time when I was a shorty, bro. If you disrespect SD, I'm busting your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't call me wacky for nothing. But at the end of the day, I realized a real motherfucker friend is going to tell you, man, walk that shit off. They ain't going to tell you, man, go punch dude in your shit and jag your good time. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, so do you got any? Just in closing here, do you got anybody that you want to honor? Rest in peace, to that you've lost over the years.
Uh, yes, man. My brother, little maniac. That's it. He was a good dude. He was part of the movement. Uh, I want to say rest in peace to Rascal from AT to Cal, Bogart from AT to Cal, Kirkwood, Maurice, my chief. He bring me to Cal. Uh, I want to say rest in peace to Trav. I want to say you know rest in peace to all the folks, man. Monster from Cal, fucking Curtis, Baby Cal. I want to say rest in peace, Baby Cal. It's just over the years, folks. I mean, over the years, it's so many people die, man. It's sad to say, but you come accustomed to it. It's like, all right, man, it's just another death. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's sad to say, man, but it's just you become numb to it, man. Listen, I hate to say this, but when you grow up living your life, watching your kids grow up through pictures, man, it's just like it's here's what I realized about life. Life isn't about materialistic things. Life is about building memories, man. Listen, you could take your kid and throw a football with him. That's a memory he'll always have, and it don't cost nothing. You know what I'm saying? That Xbox, he gonna tear that motherfucker up by April. But guess what? He gonna remember. My daddy was there. I want to give a shout out to my homie Tone, Little Wacky. Man, that's a real nigga. He's been there for me ever since I met him. He's always been on some positive shit, some uplifting shit with the brothers. He just did a bit with me, rocked with me. I'm talking about anytime I needed a brother, he was there for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need him here in the near future to send me some bread. So I'm definitely giving him a shout out. But man, he's a real dude. He's got a good heart, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing his thing. But that brother is always like I met him, my brother Little Wacky, and I met him and he had a movement going with my brother Little Maniac that got killed. And I'm not gonna talk about it on here, but me and the Little Wacky, we took off with the shit. We opened states, and we did our thing. And then, I got locked up. But he was always there for me. He never judged me. Even when I had to bust moves and go to the city, he'll say, "Man, folks, here's your rental car. Here's this, and here's some extra money to get some dope." You know what I mean? So
For sure, for
he knew
sure.
but he never judged me or nothing, man. He's a real motherfucker. I love him like a brother for real.
For
That's who I
sure.
want to shout out to. And I want to send a shout out to anybody that buys my book, anybody that's listening to this interview. God bless you. God bless your family. And I'm going to hit y'all with a poem real quick and end these. This poem was written in Shawnee Correctional Center, and it was written for my daughter that got shot and killed. And this is called From My Cradle to Her Grave. I say like this. Growing up in a house where all people did was yell and scream. I remember as a child covering my ears, just wishing it was a bad dream. Every time I see my pop smack my OG, man, I swear I could feel that rage inside of me. Turning to the streets looking for a new way of life. You could always catch me carrying a gun or a knife. Hurting people is what I love to do, especially if you weren't part of my crew. But man, all that gang banging and violence was cool until the year 2002. That's when those bullets rang through. At Cermak and Western, my daughter's life was taken from me. And that's when I started to see things from a different view. And I swear you would too, homie, if it was you. Losing my daughter is what it took for me to care. So I'm telling you, man, please let's stop this violence before it's your poem that you have to share. More, I appreciate you doing this interview with me. Shout out to all the brothers, the real ones. And man, at the end of the day, I hope to meet all you brothers in heaven. Everyone. Love. More.